Randall Duffy of Fargo has changed his plea to guilty on charges of murder and domestic violence in the strangling death of Jody Campbell last June in Fargo. He could face life in prison. A sentencing date has not been set yet. For background on this case, here's our original reporting from last June. A 59-year-old Jody Campbell died from strangulation. Formal charges now filed against 61-year-old Randall Duffy, her partner in Fargo, following a murder at this apartment building on Saturday. Duffy has been charged with Class AA murder, which carries a life sentence if convicted, also felony domestic violence. Reading directly from the criminal complaint, as the report as to what happened with the name of officers and or other witnesses omitted. Quote, on Saturday at 11:48 a.m., officers were dispatched for an unknown disturbance. The caller, later identified as Randall Duffy, provided his address and asked to send someone. Officers met with Duffy in the hallway near his apartment. Duffy allowed the officer inside his apartment to speak. Duffy informed the officer that he had killed his girlfriend, Jody Ann Campbell. Duffy said Jody's body was in the closet. Duffy consented for the officer to look in the closet, where he found an obviously deceased female body, later identified as Jody Campbell. The officer detained Duffy in handcuffs and advised him of his Miranda warning. Duffy later told the officer that he and Jody got into an argument about a meth pipe the night before. Duffy made the comment, "I choked her out too long." Another officer arrived on scene shortly after and entered Randall Duffy's apartment to render medical aid and conducted a safety sweep of the apartment. The officer noted Jody was beyond medical care and obviously deceased. Duffy was transported to the Fargo police headquarters for an in-depth interview with detectives. Detective authored a search warrant for Duffy's apartment, the associated garage, and two vehicles belonging to Duffy and Jody Campbell. The search warrant was granted. Investigators interviewed Duffy while other detectives completed a search warrant at Duffy's residence. During the interview, Duffy admitted he and Jody are active meth users. He says Campbell became upset with him and claimed he stole her meth pipe and her meth pipe, which Duffy denied. Duffy said he attempted to walk out of the apartment to avoid the argument. However, Jody blocked the doorway and was grabbing at him and continuing to yell at him. Duffy said he tried to go to the master bedroom. However, Jody followed him. Duffy admitted he put Jody in a headlock to get her to stop, but he said he kept Jody in the headlock too long, where she eventually went limp and fell to the floor. Duffy said he left the apartment for about an hour and returned to find Jody still laying on the ground. Duffy said he checked her pulse and breathing status, which she had no pulse and was not breathing. Duffy said he knew she was dead. Duffy said he panicked and thought to call police, but didn't. Duffy estimated about 6 or 7 hours passed before he called police. Duffy said at some point he moved Jody's body into the hallway closet because their dog Tank was sniffing around and the bedroom door would not close. Again, Duffy has now pled guilty to murder. A sentencing date has not been scheduled yet. I'm Neil Carlson reporting for iNewZ.TV.